What is it about Japan that makes it so fascinating for so many people? Well, aside from being one of the coolest cultures in the world, where ninjas and drifting and crazy vending machines come from,
Yeah, it's only $5.
I think it's the way they mix contemporary modern style and centuries-old tradition. Japanese culture has so many uniquely interesting aspects. You see it in the architecture, their fashion, their anime and manga, and of course, the food, specifically the ramen. I love ramen. It's why I came here. Join me, Savi, as I travel from Sapporo to Fukuoka, sampling ramen from some of the most famous shops in Japan. Ohayou gozaimasu! Good morning from Sendai. Currently making my way to my first ramen shop of the day, located slightly that way, I don't know, to the east. It's probably about a 30-minute train ride away from the hotel I'm staying at. Okay. Thank you. Whoa. Oh boy. I knew that was gonna happen. Sorry guys. A little bit of a language barrier, but I used Google Translate to help me. I asked them for the most popular, and I think it's a shoyu ramen. That has got to be the most beautiful bowl I've seen so far. That is gorgeous. Look at that. It smells amazing too. They give you a little side of silken tofu. I'm not really sure how you eat it. And then the noodles. These are definitely handmade noodles. You see they're kind of flat and crinkly. I love those. These are my favorite style noodles. The trek up here was worth it. That is amazing. Alright, I was told about this bathroom here. I had to check this out. Like a physical club in here. Oh my gosh. What the? Get out. Wow. That's just ridiculous. That was one of the coolest experiences I've had so far on this trip. I mean, just I got a little smudge there. That's what happens when you slurp. You get soup on the camera. But yeah, that was probably one of the coolest ramen shops I've ever been to. Just the atmosphere, the ambiance, and then the bathroom. The bathroom, what a way to finish it. Is that guy real? Say it is considerably warmer here in Osaka. I might be a little overdressed for the weather, but it looks like it actually just rained, so I hope it stays dry because I don't have a way to, I don't have like an umbrella or anything. But I heard about these internet cafes that you can stay at, and while doing some research, I kind of stumbled on this website called Go Voyaging. And as I was browsing through, I saw some interesting experiences that you can hire here in Osaka. So very soon I'm meeting up with a guide that's gonna take me, I don't know, into the back streets of Osaka, show me what the real Osaka is like. So I'm really excited to check that out. And as part of the tour, I guess he's also gonna take us to a couple places to eat. I'm just amazed at the amount of vending machines there are here, everywhere in Japan. They're all over the place. Bacardi Sweat, high-end supply drink. This is our guide, Kevin. 2 years you've been living here.
Yes.
His wife is Japanese.
Hi.
And he's originally from Canada.
That's right.
And then we have a bunch of people back here too. I forgot everybody's name. There was a bunch of people from Montreal, Canada. And she's from Chicago. So Kevin is gonna take us deep in Osaka.
Yeah, deep inside.
Some sketchy places.
Yeah.
Osaka is the dangerous city in Japan.
That's correct.
But, you know.
And actually where we're headed, Nishinari, is considered the most dangerous part of Osaka.
Oh boy. I haven't seen a homeless person yet.
Yeah, well there
are
homeless people here. The thing is they don't beg for money.
Oh, they don't?
No, and they're not junkies because there's almost no drugs
right.
here.
Huh.
So it makes a huge difference.
Okay.
They still, even though they're homeless, they still have a bit of honor about them, so they don't just sit and beg with signs and stuff.
Oh, there's a dojo.
A dojo, not quite. So, our first stop on the Backstreet tours. This is a place called Imamiya Ebisu. Any guesses whether this is a shrine or is this a temple? It's fine, you can guess it yourself. What do you think?
I thought it was a temple.
It's a temple. How about you guys? Temple. The Torii Gate signifies that it's a Shinto shrine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the Torii Gate. Some of the ways that you can identify a Shinto shrine. They have the station here where you cleanse your hands when you come to pray. You pass between the lion dogs, which are the Komainu. You head under the which is the road here, which is meant to cleanse you, and you head towards the Hondin, which houses the Kami, or God, and in this case it is Ebisu. He is the god of fortune, god of finance. Now let me tell you, in Osaka, the god of finance and fortune is alive and well. Every year, January 9th, 10th, and 11th, 1 million people come here. 1 million people come to this shrine. Now, of those 1 million people, the majority are business owners, and they purchase an item that grants them like prosperity for 1 year. 1 year. Now these items range in price from, I'd say, $10 American to about $1,000 American. Yeah, so if you can do the math, you figure 1 million people they estimate that Imamiya Ebisu every year generates about 100 million USD.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. In this tiny little place, it's tiny. So these are the items that are granted by, or that are purchased, I should say. So this one's probably maybe a few $100. That's awesome, that's a good one. Yeah, you'd place this in your business or in your restaurant, somewhere like that. In fact, while we walk through the rest of the tour, if you look at some of the businesses, you'll see these. You might be wondering what they're doing in this box. So after the 1 year, you would bring your item back and place it here. Because you wouldn't throw it away. That would be rude to the gods. And the last god you want to be rude to is the god of prosperity, right? So you bring it back here, you place it in this box, and then once a year, or sorry, once a month, they incinerate them in like a festival. Now, pessimistically, you know, as a Canadian, I heard this, I said, they probably just resell them. But then, you know, the Japanese would never do that. Especially with this god, you know, I mean, they're just, again, superstition rules more so than religion, as you might say.
Oh, more graffiti.
Yep. That's it.
Dangerous.
Neighborhood's gone to shit.
Yeah.
So bright.
That's a torture there.
Oh, look at that tower up there.
Oh, yeah. Like, yeah, 1 second. So, second stop, Osaka Backstreet Tours, Shin Sekai. Shin means new, Sekai means world. 1912, this place was first built, and at that point it was the New World. It was modeled after a place called Luna Park. They have them in Australia. They have them in a couple places in the world, but I believe Australia is the birthplace of that. And they modeled this section where we stand after New York. Doesn't it just feel like New York?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I'm home. The southern half was modeled after Paris. So Japanese people, they love Western culture, but in particular, they like New York and Paris. They love those cities. You'll see Eiffel Towers here, and you'll see Statue of Liberties all over the place. The tower here, the Sutenkaku, Sutenkaku translates into tower that stretches to the heavens. Now that tower, when it was built in 1912, was 63 meters in height. And at that moment, it was the second tallest structure in all of East Asia. Yeah, that's something to brag about for the Ghetto of Osaka.
Yeah.
So this was the first entertainment district of Osaka. Now, 1943, I believe, the tower burned down. The people of Japan used the metals and all of that to help the war effort. 1956, war was over, and the people of Shin Sekai said, we missed the Sutenkaku. And so they rebuilt it now, as you see it, at a height of 103 meters. So in Japan, they have these white machines. You'll notice they're everywhere. They are called gacha machines. Oh. Now, they say they're called gacha machines because of the sound that makes.
Sounds like that.
It just sounds like click click to me, unless I'm like mentally deficient. However, I feel like if you walk by with your kids, they got you, and that's the trick. Gotcha, sucker.
Yes.
Because kids love them, and they got like collectibles inside, so different types of. Each one has like 5 or 6 different things, and then of course it's random, so it's a gamble. So then your kids are always going to want them. Some of them, $5, some $3. Yeah, so they get you. An interesting fact about this little location is that nobody works here. So nobody's like operating this place, yet no one's sleeping in the alleys or drinking or acting strange. It doesn't even have a gate at all. It never ever closes. And this is a real testament to how safe Japan is. You know, this is your money exchange machine. It's not even bolted down. Could you imagine? It's not even heavy. Look, 2 fingers, I can move this. I could drag this home myself easy. Easy. But somehow, 24/7, no gate, no one's, there's 2 of them even.
We're in the most dangerous city in Japan.
In one of the most dangerous areas. So a funny thing, and before these guys go, I want to point this out, but you've probably all heard that in Japan you can buy like kinky items from vending machines, you know, filthy things of that nature. Have you heard this? So these machines, red machines, are adult. Gotcha. These guys are buying Hey, dame. So basically, these machines here are arrow gachas, and they contain erotic items.
Only $5.
Mostly they're. Oh, check it out. This is great. And kind of gross or weird. Mostly they're women's underwear. Don't worry, they're not used. We'll just drape that over there. And just in case you didn't know, they're sexy.
Yeah.
Sexy.
Sexy underwear.
Yeah. So they got one here. I guess they moved it over here, but this machine here is only boob-related items. So if you're like a tit guy, that's your machine.
You go to.
And that's correct. Here we have an arcade. It's like a retro arcade. Now, if you're into video games, you would know that the Japanese pioneered all this stuff, you know?
Yep.
Way back in the day. In the 80s, the video games were a giant chunk of the Japanese GDP. So they actually exporting like Segas and Nintendos and that. They raised a lot of money for Japan, and they got their economy booming. This particular arcade has the old games, and they've even put the dates on the machines.
Yeah,
so it's pretty cool. This is cool. 3 floors of games, as you can see by this sign here, 3 floors. No one operates it. It just runs safely, cleanly, and autonomously. And again, I will never stop being amazed by this. It's like the Japanese people are just so good at caring about their own societies. They don't piss up the place.
Look at that. Super Mario Brothers. All the good stuff there. Oh no, nostalgia. No! I love Street Fighter. So that's a Michael Jackson Moonwalker arcade game, and the goal is to rescue children. Yeah.
This kind of thing only exists in Japan as far as I know. As far as I've traveled in the world, I've never seen a vending machine that had booze in it. One thing about Osaka that makes it a little cooler than most Japanese cities is no one cares if you drink in the streets. In fact, they'll probably cheers you or high-five you. Like in Tokyo, it's not illegal, but it's kind of a faux pas. Right. They tell you not to eat in the streets, smoke in the streets, and drink in the streets. But again, it's not illegal. It's just they consider it to be kind of rude. Probably because they're in such close proximity. You know, if you got an ice cream cone and there's a guy with a $2,000 suit going to work and you plaster him with your ice cream cone, he's going to hate you. And I don't blame him, honestly. But we're not there. We're in Osaka. So in Osaka, you can drink as much as you want in the streets. It's a great way to enjoy the tour, should you be interested in it. They got everything in here. Beers. Yeah, don't be shy. Give her. It's your vacation. Kanpai.
Kanpai. There we go.
Kanpai. There we go.
Oh, it's foam.
Yeah, dude. Oh. Yeah.
So the Yakuza are still a thing?
Big thing.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what makes Osaka kind of one of the more dangerous cities, is because they say that a good majority of them are here.
Interesting.
You know, you always think Yakuza, you think Tokyo, you know, you movies.
Well,
but apparently most of them are here or Kobe. Yeah, you know your stuff. So yeah, this is a movie theater. And this movie theater has a unique quality about it, I'm sure maybe you can guess. So inside this particular movie theater, they have Hollywood movies as well as pornography, which is quite funny, honestly. Interesting, they paint the signs on here like every week. You'll see that there's this big long sign where there's like all the katakana, and there's that lady's face is painted, like hand painted, which is kind of cool. It's like a lost art. Over here you have a white sign and it has red katakana. That is a love hotel. Okay. So should you fall in love briefly, that would be your stop. You know, you meet a girl at the bar and you're just in love. You just want to express your love. You would take her to a love hotel. A lot of Japanese people live with their parents till like later ages, and so if they want to escape to express their love, they might head to that kind of place. And another interesting fact about Japanese culture, and I'm told, is that adultery is kind of big here. So a lot of these places are for like your mistress, you know, you take her there. I was told by my friend that some of them are so private, you drive in the underground and they cover your car so no one can see it. Then you go to your room in a private, like the elevator goes right to your room, you get inside your room, shut the door, and the bill comes under the door. You pay it in cash, you send it back out, and nobody ever sees you, and that's the trick. So you're like, no, I wasn't there, baby, I was at the movie theater. Japanese people have a very like hardcore working culture. Like they stay all hours of the night. They work 6 to 7 days a week, no problem. You know, you've probably experienced some of this. And a couple of things is like if your boss stays late, you're expected to stay late with him. Like you're not supposed to leave before he leaves. So they won't fire you, but they're going to consider you the lazy one, you know? Now, that being said, if your boss wants to go out for drinks after work, in Japan, it's mandatory. So it's not like, hey, if you want to go, it's like, we're going, you're going. So you better hope that your boss doesn't hate his wife and never want to go home. He wants to work late and drink all night because you're screwed.
This is a really cool alley.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that sumo wrestlers just load up on carbs and potatoes and just nonsense food, and that's how they become such big gentlemen. But the truth is that they actually train on an empty stomach, and then they load up on this meal that's quite healthy. It's called chunko nabe.
Yeah.
So nabe is like a hot pot. It's a Japanese form of hot pot.
Yeah.
And
I'm familiar with that.
Chunko nabe is that guy right there. Yeah. So they might eat a few portions of that.
They eat healthy.
Yeah, they do. They just eat a lot.
Yeah.
So also in this little zone here, which is quite cool, they have this restaurant here. Now it is a Fugu fish restaurant. Fugu fish being the puffer fish.
Yes.
You know,
poisonous
puffer fish.
Wow.
This is about 100-year-old restaurant, so I don't imagine they're killing folks.
Yeah.
You know,
they know
you're probably safe in there. Japanese chefs
record.
have to have a license to prepare the fugu fish. Apparently the liver in a puffer fish is so toxic that it's 1,000 times more poisonous than cyanide. Wow. So if you nix it and you eat that meat, you're dead. But again, 100-year-old restaurant, they're probably not killing folks. because they have so many variations of it. You can almost make a Shinto shrine or god out of anything. Now that little dude right there is the mascot of Shin Sekai, and he has his own Shinto shrine. So his name is the Billiken, and interestingly enough, he's actually the mascot for St. Louis University in America.
Are you serious?
But in 1912, the Japanese people of Shin Sekai thought that they would steal his likeness because he's cute and make him the mascot of Shin Sekai. This is quite a fun restaurant. You can go in here and this guy here, he's pretty strong, so don't take him for granted. But if you arm wrestle him and you can beat him, he'll buy you a drink.
Get out! Really?
But he's fucking strong.
You arm wrestled him.
No, he beat me. Yeah. You gotta buy him a drink. Yeah. I still got a sore arm from that bastard. He's so strong. It's like, I don't know what he does all day. He lift concrete or something, but. Assalamualaikum. So behind me here we have like a games room. Now this is, it's like kind of a glimpse into the retired life of a Japanese gentleman. Basically, these retired gentlemen are they're placing small bets, they're playing these games, and most often these parlors are hidden off the path or in back rooms, or they're in back alleys, or they got the blinds closed. You see they got curtains here, but for some reason they let us look inside. So what these guys are doing is considered illegal, so most of the time they would hide it. I've never seen women. Because they're all smoking and they're probably grumpy old women are smarter than that. So this is interesting, but if you were born in Osaka, your parents would tell you never to cross this road.
Why?
Basically, as I said earlier, Osaka is considered the most dangerous place in Japan. And where we're headed right now, Nishinari, this is the most dangerous place in Osaka. So you could consider this the most dangerous place in the country. You can tell by the elephant and the animals. Terrifying.
Right, yeah.
Terrifying.
Such terrifying.
So my wife, actually, she's a native Osakan, and this subway station is called Dobutsu Mai. Now we live 2 stations away from here. She grew up there her whole life. She's never been here, and she wouldn't come here. Like, no way. And funny enough, I got a job as a tour guide. So my wife's like, "That's fantastic, Kevin. You got a job as a tour guide." She's like, "Are you gonna be at like Osaka Castle, you know, and, like culturally, you know?" And I'm like, "No, baby. I'm at Nishinari." I didn't know what it was because, you know, what do I know? And she's like, "Oh, you can't go there. Like, don't go there. No, you can't have that job." It was like, settle down. It's not that terrifying, honestly.
Are you gonna explain why it's so terrifying? Or not
So part of the reason is because, as I said earlier, the Yakuza are in Osaka. Now the red light district where we will end our tour is over here. It's run by them. And then over here is like one of the largest homeless populations of Japan. Yeah, right, exactly. Where? So we'll get close there, but we're not going to go through their area because we don't treat them like a zoo. It's not a human zoo for everybody, you know. We'll talk about why it is and things of that nature, but we'll kind of stay out of their way. But before we head in, I'm going to get us a snack. So if you guys wait here, I'll be right back.
I want to see what snack he's getting us here.
Okay, come on. Fish cake.
Is it in?
Oh, I see.
Is that soy?
No, it's called a dashi. Dashi is a broth. Yeah, bamboo roots.
Fish broth.
Yeah, it's a fish broth that also has a bit of kelp in it.
Yes.
The mustard is like a wasabi mustard. It's quite intense, honestly. Yeah. And you have tofu. Both plates are the same. You have tofu, you have fish cakes, bamboo root, potato, and daikon, which is like a radish, but it's not quite like a Western radish, like the red ones.
I'll hold it for you. Thank you.
The broth is called a dashi, which is like fish broth with a bit of kelp, and this meal is called oden. Very like winter food. Yeah. You like it?
Yeah.
Here, I can hold it while you eat. It's okay. I don't mind. That's what I was born for. Yeah, don't be shy. Just fire away, guys.
Be careful with the mustard, y'all.
Yeah, the mustard.
The mustard.
It's not like it's not spicy in the way of like peppers, but it's like wasabi-esque, where it will like blast your nostrils.
I love that mustard.
Yeah, it's nice. You either love it or hate it, I think.
It's almost like Dijon.
Careful. Use your hands.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't mind.
This is just as good.
Just eat what you touch, and you're good.
That's just as good.
It is.
What is this thing again?
That is a bamboo root.
I love the daikon. The
daikon's amazing.
Yeah, because it
There you go,
soaks
get
up
your
all the
hands in there.
dashi.
Don't be shy. Yeah, it really does get the
And
dashi
you
right
hit
in
it with some of this mustard there, like that.
Let's do this. Wow. Oh, okay.
You want to try the dashi?
Soak it in there, boom.
Oh, you want to buy it? It's old. It's quite often very old.
Did we use it?
No, but they've been like, it's been suggested that his dashi might be like months old.
Oh.
And that's the point. It like stews and stews. Not reusing it. He never changes it.
Really?
Right.
He'll add like a little bit to it. Yeah, just a little bit every day, and that kind of what gives it that quite like really good taste. Yeah. And then place your chopsticks and your trash in the bowl here. So now we get into the actual back streets. While we're through here, I'm gonna keep my voice down. Definitely chat amongst yourselves, but we'll try to respect the locals.
Oh, this is where people live?
Yeah, people live here.
Oh, it's delicious.
All ready?
Oh, ready?
There you go, enjoy.
Oh my gosh.
For you.
Look at that. That is beautiful.
It's good. This guy's ready out here for you.
Kevin, excellent tour.
Thank you very much.
You're a great tour guide.
Thank you.
Anybody that's watching and you're going to Japan or thinking about it, actually, you should come to Japan specifically to go on a tour with Kevin. Seriously. Yeah, seriously. Trust me. Just trust me on this. Totally worth it.
Here we go.
This guy.
Konbanwa. Konbanwa. How would you like to drink?
Highball.
Highball.
Big one. How do you say big?
Okay.
Do they have a big one?
Okay, highball.
YouTube. Hi, you say hello, YouTube. Say hi, YouTube.
Your name?
Savi you.
Savi you.
Oh, yes.
Sake.
Sake.
Oishii. Karage oishii. That's a big highball. Boo boo, hello YouTube.
Oh, takoyaki.
Takoyaki.
Okay. Oh, karage.
Karage.
Karage oishii.
Fried chicken. Karage.
Never go on fried chicken.
Right. No. That's what you do, right?
I'm loving Osaka right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
A lot of people love Osaka, like I said earlier. That Osaka's fan. Crazy.
That is fantastic.
Oh, Nico Davu. Thank you.
Nico?
Try to taste that broth. It's like nothing like it.
Wow.
I ate it so fast. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I never know how to open these doors.
There you go. Thank you. Bye bye. Bye bye.
I'm gonna stay overnight in an internet cafe. I don't know why. It's just not much cheaper than a cubicle, but I just thought it'd be cool.